All right, welcome back, everybody. We're back with the. We got an intro. Forgot about our intro.
Welcome to live stream.
Welcome to live stream. Scott here. Welcome back to the Slate Real Talk with Scott Dehn. I'm here with my good friend Drew Cappuccino.
Hey, how you
Welcome
doing, guys?
to the Slate Real Talk with
He'll
Scott
tell
Dehn. This is
Hit
a
it up,
show
Ken.
all about a lifelong passion for movies and 20 plus years of experience in the film industry to create the most fun, entertaining, informative, and thought-provoking breakdown of Hollywood cinema as humanly possible. If you've ever seen a movie and have a sense of humor, this is the show for you. The Slate Real Talk with Scott Dehn airs every other Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central right here at 216net. For more information or ways to be part of the show, reach out to 216net@gmail.com. The Slate Real Talk with Scott Dehn is brought to you in part by the support of Golden Age Cinemas. Yes, it is a drive-in. www.goldenagecinemas.com.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you, Ken. That was well done. So welcome back. This is the Slate Real Talk with Scott Dehn. I'm Scott Dehn. I'm joined here by my good friend Drew Cappuccino and my new friend Nick here doing the producing for us today. I'm really excited about today's show, man.
Today's going to be
We
awesome.
were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
Before we get started and before I kind of lay out what today's show is about, I want to kind of capitalize on something that I announced last week. The opportunity to win a season-long carload pass to the McHenry Outdoor Theater. So here's how you do it. It's really easy. So if you're watching, whatever medium it is that you're watching on, like, share, comment, because the more activity that you show in any one of the shows from now through April 26th, you'll have an opportunity to win a season carload pass to the McHenry Outdoor Theater. Winner will be picked at random, and that'll be April 26th.
That's for the season?
That's for the whole season,
Ooh.
a carload. So if you can fit 200 people in your car, we'll still let it happen.
Idlers,
so come on
people,
in.
they're going to try that. They're going to try
They
it.
do try that.
Guys, like, I got a Tahoe,
Yeah.
so
I've seen pictures of people packing cars. You know, they got the clown cars with all the clowns.
Yeah.
They can do it.
yeah. So real quick, let me chime in on that a little bit. What is the weirdest thing that you've seen happen at the drive-in as far as
are we going PG or R?
Well, I mean, we're on the internet, but so I mean, you can do however, but like, you know, people trying to sneak things in, people trying to do weird stuff to bring in. Obviously, we try to keep it somewhat clean.
Yeah,
What's a weird thing?
I can tell you, I can cover the R-rated stuff really quick. So the back part of the parking lot, if it's not a full house and they're parked back there, just leave them, right?
Gotcha.
Because I've seen enough to know that I don't want to see anymore. But
that costs extra.
But something that's weird, and this is a common thing, we have 900 cars on a Friday or a Saturday, and we have to clean up afterwards. And people, for whatever reason, bring like lazy boys and couches, and then they leave them there.
What?
They leave them there, and so like if it'll rain, you know, if after the movie it rains, so I got to get rid of furniture. So the weirdest thing would be furniture, probably.
How did it's almost like, all right, honey, we're gonna bring this couch we don't want no more to watch a movie and just leave it there.
And you know,
I could see that happening.
I could see it too. And the funny thing is, because I've got a lot of young generation that works there, and they're looking for their first apartment, looking for their first house, and they're like, "Hey, Scott, do you mind if I take that couch when I leave?" I'm like, you know, it's been rained on, and I don't know.
You might want to shampoo
who's been
that like
sitting
10
on
million
it.
times.
Right. I'm like, but go ahead, because that's less that I have to. That's less that I have to pay for.
Awesome. What are we talking about today, Scott?
Today is all about sequels, prequels, remakes, reimaginings.
All right.
We're going to talk about the best, the worst, why they work, why they don't, and I've got tons of examples here, so I'm going to need help with you guys chiming in on what you think. But the big thing that I want to hit on, besides what sequels work, why they work, why they don't, but what makes a good sequel? What makes a good reboot? What is it that audiences are looking for? The sequels that work, what is it that they grab onto, that they appreciate? What are they looking for in a sequel? What are they not? But what I'm really excited for is sequels that have never been made, prequels that have yet been made, remakes, reimaginings. What is something that hasn't been made that you would love to see? And this was actually this came to mind because you brought this up on the last show, and it got the wheels spinning in my head. And man, there are a lot out there there's a lot of content out there that I'm like, man, why did they never make a sequel to that? Or that movie wasn't picked up by a large audience, but
Mhm.
I loved it, and I
Yep.
know a bunch of people who loved it. It becomes kind of a cult classic.
Yeah.
And like now would be a good time to make a remake, or maybe not a remake, but at least a sequel of it. So I'd love to hear what you have to think about, and you, the viewer, what you think would make a good sequel that's yet been made. So
So I don't know if you know this.
no, what's
So Nick Kubiak here,
Yes.
who's like our marketing pro, he is the Gentle Giant, and he is a movie guy. Dude, this guy will go out. He's got passes to go see movies.
so we can get along then.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I have a feeling he's
Yeah.
going to be on the show quite a bit.
Good.
And so I think what we're going to also add in today is Nick's review. I'm sure he's seen a few movies out there he'd probably like to talk about.
Yeah, Nick, what are we reviewing today? This is what I'm excited for.
So this past Friday, I got to check out John Wick Chapter 4.
Ooh, John Wick.
I can't wait to hear about this.
Oh, dude. Spoiler, it's a blast.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Give me
Cover
another
your
spoiler.
ears,
Was
folks.
it
That's the
best one?
spoiler.
I think it's the best one so far.
Really? It's a long one too.
It's the longest one, but honestly, flew by.
Really?
Was this the last one they were doing?
No.
No.
He said he'll keep making them.
Yeah.
Well, the Wick series is actual book, isn't it?
I don't think so. I think it's an original.
I think so.
Is it?
I think
Yeah,
it's original.
It's original?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm interested. I got to see that. So you give us some key points on it, man. As far as how does it hold up to the other John Wick movies? Like as far as action, you get tired of seeing the same thing over. Is it repetitive?
It's interesting. Yes, it's repetitive, but in the best
In
way
the best
possible.
ways, yeah.
That's awesome. I like that.
Like at some points it's repetitive, but it's meant to be, and it's meant to make you feel exhausted. It's meant to make you feel like John Wick and how much stuff he's going through.
That's what I like about those movies is it feels like you just ran a marathon.
You're in
by
his
the end of it.
shoes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
You're in his
right,
shoes.
Right.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And so it's great. But the other ones I saw, the new Shazam, which,
This I'm interested
All right.
for. Maybe not so much for the movie, but for the politics that go
Yeah.
on behind the scenes.
yeah,
And
the
I want to see.
repercussions of the movie,
Right.
it's interesting. And then Zach Braff's new movie, A Good Person, starring Florence
Yeah.
Pugh and Morgan Freeman, who delivers
I heard good things.
an amazing performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. So
Have
get
you
some-
seen any of these?
I have not seen any of those yet.
Okay.
No. I got to drive in theater. I'm seasonal. I can only see summer
I mean,
movies for free.
I only own a theater, but I don't watch
Right.
movies.
Right?
I don't have time.
Yeah, I don't have time.
Awesome. Thanks, Nick. Thanks for the review, bud.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we'll get back to those. I'd like to go into a little more depth,
Yeah,
especially with what we talked about with the Flash. How is Shazam gonna bring us to the Flash? Will it bring us to the Flash? Does it have anything to do with the Flash anymore? Does Warner Brothers even know?
I don't know.
I don't
I don't
know.
know. We can definitely tackle that with the Black Adam a little bit. We talked about that a little bit off air in the green room.
Right.
On how Dwayne Johnson, and listen, I'm a fan of Dwayne, but I mean he had to have his way in certain ways, and it's kind of like ruining some Enterprise movies out there a little bit. Even though Black Adam was a good movie, I liked it.
It was okay. I'm not The Rock. I used to be a pretty big fan of his until I started hearing him talk a little more, in interviews, and he's good. But I'm telling you, the best actor, the best wrestler turned actor right now is Dave Bautista.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
Oh, yeah.
he's
down.
incredible.
He is
I
hands down.
recently rewatched Blade Runner 2049.
Oh my gosh.
He's outstanding. He's in it for a little bit, but he's so good.
He's got those tiny glasses.
Yes.
So good.
and
He's so understated.
he's got acting chops.
He does.
Like he does. He's not afraid to tackle any character that he does.
No,
And
he's
he does it well.
excellent. Excellent.
Well, he was in M. Night's new movie too.
Oh, Cabin in the Woods. Yeah.
Yeah. He's really good in that. He
Yeah.
holds the movie together.
Does he?
Without him, it's M. Night Shyamalan movie.
right,
Yeah.
right. What a twist. So let's go around the table here. Table to the booth. Sequel. What's your favorite sequel of all time?
Oh, let's see. Of
And
all
why?
time, man, there's
And
so
why?
many.
There's so many.
There's
I
so
know.
many.
I got a good list here. So
So listen, I'm Italian. I like Rocky.
yeah.
Creed.
how did
Creed
I miss
was good.
Rocky?
Creed was good. Creed 2 was good.
Did you see Creed 3 yet?
No, I haven't.
You're going to though, right?
I'm going
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
So what they did was they followed the model right from Rocky,
Right.
which was smart because that worked. Even some of the Rocky movies, you were kind of like, it's got a little cheese on there, right?
Paulie's robot.
But Paulie's robot, right? But the farther that went down the line, and we're gonna go ahead and call it a verse, right? A universe of Rocky.
It's the Rocky verse,
and Stallone Sly is a hell of an actor to me. He is. I think so. I idolize him. He's the same guy in every movie. Let's just be honest. But he does it well, and he carries that over. And then being able to take that and carry it into the Creed series, where Creed was his first match,
his nemesis,
and then nemesis. Then they became friends. Then he lost his friend to Drago, and now his son, Creed's son, is looking to Rocky, and then he's training him. Right in the first one, and the second one follows suit to the whole series. Right.
Does,
so
there's a recipe for sure.
I think you're right. It's a recipe, and the connective tissue is solid. So all I want to say, maybe not of all time, but off the top of my head, Creed 2. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Rocky 2 is a pretty good sequel too, because and again, it's kind of in the same vein. I mean, it was the original recipe. Creed is the new version. Rocky, I can't believe I missed Rocky. Rocky 2 is a great sequel. Nick, what about you? What's your favorite sequel all time?
So this one's a big part nostalgia for me.
Yeah,
I was 10 when this came out, but it's The Dark Knight.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that was really right.
Thanks for making us feel old.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
I was 10.
I was hoping
when that came out.
I was hoping to hear like Empire, like to know that he's in, around my age.
Like, Terminator 2.
Right.
Great in its own right. No, Dark Knight for me, Heath Ledger, all-time performance as a Joker. I think without that, you might not have the superhero landscape that you have right now.
And maybe one of the rare films where the sequel outshined its predecessor.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
I love Batman Begins, but I mean, Dark Knight's untouchable, right?
Yeah, well, the whole series. I mean, we talked about that last episode, right? All the way down to the Joker, the Dark Knight. Heath Ledger just crushed that part over and over again. I started watching after we talked about it. I started watching it again. Oh, it's just so addictive.
It really is.
It's almost like you get that exciting feeling.
Yep, right from the beginning, your palms are sweaty with the bank scene, and no matter how many times you've seen it too. But to hit on that, so sequels we're talking about, but the trilogies are tough, man, because you usually have a good movie, first movie, or it wouldn't have spawned a sequel, right? So you have Godfather classic, Godfather 2 classic, Godfather 3, luster's a little gone, right? So successful trilogies, I mean, I can think maybe the original Star Wars, maybe Indiana Jones, Back to the Future. Does anything else work for a trilogy?
Well, you got Lord of the Rings.
You got Lord of the Rings,
the Harry Potter trilogy series. Anything in fantasy.
Yeah,
listen, anything sci-fi fantasy is always a winner chicken dinner. I want to say though that you're right. There's when they start getting into the threes, because 2 did okay.
Right.
1 did the best. They're like, how much can we squeeze out of this?
So why do 3s always end up sucking?
Well, I think they're forcing it.
Yeah.
They're forcing it. They're trying to get that dollar amount because they're going for the following of maybe the character base. They got character development involved, right? So like you care about that character. You want to know what happens next.
Yep.
So they think that that's going to be the big sell. So they put it back out there. And let's just say they get a little shoddy on the writing. Maybe they get a little shoddy on some of the performance, but that's probably why they're just trying to squeeze whatever the juice out of the rock they can possibly get. What do you think, Nick?
I think from a creative point of view, writers, directors, you put most of your eggs in the first movie with the idea and understanding, hey, there might be a second movie, and then you have time to listen to the feedback, build up the second movie. But after that, you're probably mostly out of those core ideas.
Right.
And so when the studio asks you to come back for a third movie, and you're like, I don't really have any ideas.
That's why it's kind of surprising that so many sequels do work, because if you think like the first movie, the gestation period is lengthy, because there was nothing, there was no rush for it.
Right.
So the creative process can take its time.
Yep.
Then when it becomes the hit, like go, we need that sequel like tomorrow.
Money.
Yeah. Right. We can't wait too long because the public will forget about you. Look at Iron Man 2. You know,
Yeah.
Iron Man was a classic. Iron Man 2. I mean, it's not an awful movie, but it's not Iron Man. It's not the.
It's not one of
original.
my favorites.
No.
But it definitely led for the next one, and then
It
for the
did.
series of the Avengers, right?
Right.
So at least there was something
Just paving
connecting
a road,
one
yeah,
end
yeah.
to the next.
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to talk about the Ant-Man series, how that's supposed to connect.
No.
but
the connected tissue.
but I mean, let's look at something that is based on character development, right? Expendables,
there you go. Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
you got every actor in the book from back in the day
Right.
doing a part back in the explosive scene of action-packed movies.
That's a great example.
You know, back in the blockbuster days. And so they made, I don't, did you think one of those was bad?
No, it was a really well done trilogy for what
100%.
it knew what it wanted to be, and it said we don't care about, you know, the plot is the plot. They knew it was an action movie, and they went balls to the wall, just do an action movie.
Yeah, you're not going to see those movies because you know
They weren't
care
aiming
about
for
his
an Oscar,
character.
you
Yeah,
know. They
No,
weren't
no,
looking
but
for-
you know, the cool thing for me on that was I'm like, oh, dude, they got Chuck Norris.
Right.
Oh man,
Right.
Wesley Snipes.
Bruce
man,
Willis.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah,
I mean, they really packed it together. Now, excuse me, if you want to say, let's talk about G.I. Joe.
yeah.
Like the first one made, I was like, why did they make this movie?
Right. And
You know?
how is this G.I. Joe?
Right.
Again, okay, you call him Cobra, but for real?
It didn't follow. Like, listen, I watched back, and I'm old. Okay, watching the cartoons
Yep.
growing up Saturday mornings. It tried to follow a storyline like that, but it wasn't quite there. But
No.
then they came out with the one with Dwayne Johnson was in it. They
Yep.
had some actors in it, and that one was okay.
It
It
wasn't. bad,
wasn't
yeah.
horrible. And then they came out with Snake Eyes, a little off track from that, right? So
Yep.
Snake Eyes, based on his origin story and everything else. So they started getting smart with it.
Right.
And so once again, maybe the following movies weren't so bad, but the first one sucked.
The
Like,
first one was
what kind of dice are you rolling to think you're gonna make good money off of a series that your first one sucked?
right.
Right.
And that's one of those odd examples of the original sucking, probably not even deserving of the sequel.
Correct.
But getting a sequel that ended up
Right.
almost undoing the original because
Yeah.
the best thing they did was kill off Channing Tatum. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like in the very beginning. It reminded me of what was the movie? Executive Decision.
Mm.
You're like, oh, a Steven Seagal action movie. Wait, he's dead. You know, they killed him like in the first 2 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah. One of the other things I can say is when they go from series to movie. So
Oh, okay.
you know, let's talk. You're a sci-fi junkie, right?
I
So
know. I think I know where you're
let's
going.
talk Firefly.
Yeah, Firefly. There
Right?
we go. Yep.
What an awesome series!
Oh,
like
unbelievable.
I was so addicted to that series, and then they
It was-
just cut it short.
Yep.
Right.
One
and then-
season, right? Just one season.
Was it one season? I'm not sure. I think
Short,
it was
but yeah.
it was
yeah,
short.
Yeah.
short-lived. And then out of the blue, and it had a huge following. Huge.
The brown coats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then out of the blue, what was it, like a year, 2 years, maybe 3 years later,
Right.
Serenity came out.
Yep.
And they were like, we need closure on this,
It was a
right?
great movie. Yeah.
Now, how cool would it be if they did a prequel to Firefly series where the
I
characters
love this.
before they were that age, you can use different actors,
Right. You
right?
don't need-
Their
yeah,
origins,
They're
and
younger. Yeah.
how they came about.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm surprised that hasn't been done.
I don't know.
It's got the following. It's too late probably to continue the series or do a sequel to the series or even a sequel to the movie at this point. But yeah, an origin story that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be really cool. So that's Drew Cappuccino, 10% for anybody that wants to make that happen.
There you go. You know, Sopranos just did that not too long ago.
You're
with,
right.
That was
Gandolfini's
good.
Son. And it was good. It was just 15 years after Sopranos ended.
Right.
Yeah.
So not really many people
And
were
it
paying
bombed.
attention.
Yeah. And it was not very. Did you like it?
I
The
liked
Many
it.
Saints of Newark, right? Yeah. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I liked it because you got to follow some of the characters from Sopranos and see them in their younger days, their heyday, and the actors did it precise to the character.
They did.
So I give it a thumbs up for that. Could it have been better? Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think that what they accomplished what they wanted to by
Right.
making it. To be honest,
And I think what you liked about it was actually what I did not like about it because I felt that it was too much fan service. You know what I mean? Too
Exactly,
much.
yeah.
it could have been
Too
fan
much,
feed,
yeah,
little fan feed.
Yeah, like I mean, it was cool. It was nostalgic to see, Junior, and to get a feel for the old crew,
Yeah.
right? And how they might have acted or looked like or been when they were younger. But did we need it? Probably not.
No.
Probably not.
No.
It was it's kind of a cool little accent piece to the Sopranos legacy. But as a movie, it didn't work for me. I just thought it was too much fan service, and I think that's what a lot of sequels run into is. They get away from the formula and it becomes fan service. I think that's what's kind of happening with Marvel right now. You saw it with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, where Reed Richards finally on the big screen, and you're like, oh yeah, John Krasinski. Everyone's been talking about John Krasinski, but it turns out that was nothing more than fan service. He's not going to be Reed Richards. They cast him strictly because Kevin Feige heard rumors about what a good Reed Richards he would make. Don't play with me. Don't play with my nerd emotions.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with the What If series. Right?
Yes, I love it.
So I think they based that whole segment on the What If series.
Yeah,
because then you had the British version of Captain America. You had, and I mean, listen, X-Men, huge fan of Mr. Jean-Luc Picard himself.
Yep.
And so even in the X-Men series, so bringing him along, but killing him off like so fast is like, really, dude? He's like one of the most powerful guys in an X-Men.
But the cool thing is, he might not have been that powerful in that universe.
Sure.
I'm not, he's going to be back.
Yeah. Well,
you don't get an actor of that caliber and not bring him back for more than a cameo, right?
Well, I would think so, but I mean, he is no spring chicken.
No,
so I follow Picard. I don't know if you watch that show.
I don't. No.
And so it's the last season of Picard. It's a great show. If I'm a Trekkie and a Star Wars guy,
both
all at once, right? I know.
No, that's okay.
Settle down, everybody. I know. But I can, it's his last season because I think he's slipping. He's getting old. So we got some stuff in the comments. What do we got?
I just shared a comment from all the profiles asking what people's favorite sequels are.
Awesome.
Sequels are.
So,
awesome.
We'll see.
See what comes up.
Channel Lakes Chamber says what's up, and they're a big fan of Golden Age.
Ooh,
all right.
What's up? You. Awesome. Thanks for chiming in.
So,
Thank you.
Thanks for watching the show. Tell your friends.
Let me give you my short little list that I have here of my what I think are the best sequels. Empire Strikes. I'll go through this quickly here.
Right.
Empire Strikes Back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Godfather 2.
Absolutely.
Captain America: Winter Soldier. French Connection 2, underrated sequel.
Wow,
Jaws 2 and Jaws 3. Jaws 3 because it's so cheesy that it's actually good.
You got to say Jaws 3D.
3D. You're right. You had to buy. You're too young to remember this, but the only way that you could see that movie was you had to buy 7-Up bottles
to get the glasses.
Yeah, to get the glasses. That was the only way to see it. Talk about bad marketing.
That's horrible.
You have to buy a beverage to get the glasses to see the movie, but
that's a lot of legwork.
So Jaws 2, Jaws 3, Halloween 2, the original, Rocky 2. I just jotted down because I can't believe I forgot that. Aliens is a classic. T2, Dark Knight, which you said,
of course.
Back to the Future 2. Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan, Batman Returns, Lethal Weapon 2, Scream 2, Bourne Supremacy, and all the Mission Impossibles after Mission Impossible 2, because that's a corny ass movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a couple. What was the one from last episode that you were like, I just love it because it's so bad?
Grease 2?
Grease 2.
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's so
horrible.
I was saying, so I played Grease. This was an accident. Olivia Newton-John had died on a Thursday, and I was already set to play Grease and Grease 2 on the weekend. So I turned it from sing-along weekend to Olivia Newton-John tribute weekend. And the comments on our Facebook page were mixed between, oh, wow, what a nice tribute to Olivia Newton-John, to how could you do this to her soul with Grease 2.
Oh,
it was an interesting time.
That's a travesty.
So let me go through my list of worst sequels, because I know that you're going to have some good comments on this. Grease 2, which we mentioned, I love it, but it's awful. And maybe the worst title to a movie ever, Highlander 2, The Quickening.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Awful. And The Highlander is such a good movie too.
I was a huge fan of The Highlander.
Staying Alive was awful. I got Jaws: The Revenge on there. Speed 2, Cruise Control. The Sting 2. Mortal Kombat Annihilation, Caddyshack 2, Basic Instinct 2, Son of the Mask, RoboCop 3, Teen Wolf 2, as in also, Escape from LA, and anything you got to add. Worst sequels of all time.
Well, real quick, what
Yeah.
is RoboCop 3? I'm trying to remember.
RoboCop 3. Well, Peter Weller
That
was
wasn't
gone.
the reboot,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, no, well, it was kind of, I don't know what it was, but he had no arm. He had a cybernetic arm with a gun on it, and watch it.
Oh.
It'll entertain you for sure, but for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, all the political commentary from the
It's
first
gone.
two just gone.
Right.
Just
The Paul
90s
Verhoeven, it's all gone. RoboCop 2 is good. I think it's pretty good.
Well, I love. So when that came out, RoboCop series,
Oh, yeah.
gotta watch it.
Right.
RoboCop 2, still enjoyed it, and I know they rebooted completely RoboCop, right?
Right.
And that wasn't horrible, wasn't great, wasn't
it was
horrible.
PG-13.
Well,
I mean, come on.
okay, so
Right.
so I'm gonna throw out a comparison, right? So we got some sequels to go with this too, right? We're gonna create a sequel to a horrible movie,
Okay.
Sharknado.
Yes.
Sharknado 1 and 2. Was there a 3?
There's been 7.
Oh, there's been
There's
I was gonna
7?
say
Yeah.
7 or 8. Yeah.
Okay, so well, they just mass produced that garbage.
They did, yeah.
You know, so I mean, it happens.
Well, it costs about $50 to make, so
Right.
as long as you
Right.
sell like 4
On a bad
DVDs.
day.
Yeah, well, you traded enough pop cans from the parking lot.
Yeah.
I think you can make that move,
Right.
right? You know,
The thing I like about Sharknado though is they know what they are too. I mean, even like the titles of their sequels. Oh yeah,
That's a good
That's
one.
a great.
yeah,
Quiet
that's
Place
good.
Quiet Place 2.
Who's that? Who's chiming in on that?
That was horror.
Oh, I totally forgot. If you've got an idea for a movie sequel that you think should be made, or give us your favorite movie sequel, at the end of the show we're gonna pick a winner of what we think is the best recommendation, and you're gonna get a pass to come out opening weekend and see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume
Oh.
3 and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So
Oh, that's awesome.
so bring in your
Yeah,
suggestions here, and you got
don't
a
be
winner.
afraid to get on the Google box there, guys.
Right.
And chime in, because I mean, listen, if that's worth a free movie at the drive-in, can't go wrong
Absolutely.
with that.
Yeah, I'm pumped for the new Guardians movie.
Yeah, me
Oh,
too.
I can't wait.
Me too.
That's a part 3. I think that'll be okay.
Yeah.
Although
I agree.
I'm afraid I'm going to cry at this one.
think so.
Did you see the trailer?
There seems to be a lot
Oh,
of emotion.
man.
Well, it's the last one, right? So they're trying
It
to pump it
is.
full of different emotion.
Yeah.
But man, it doesn't look good for Rock.
I mean, I looked right off the bat when Batista threw the ball at the kid's face.
Right.
I was like, "This is gonna be great.
We come in
This is gonna be
peace.
great. It's
Yeah.
consistent,
Um,
you know."
Another topic here: remakes.
Okay.
Remakes can kind of go one of two directions. It seems they're either awful, never should have been remade. Why were you even thinking of this idea? Or they were terrific. I got my little list here of best remakes ever. I got The Thing, the 82 Thing.
Oh,
1982.
man. And the original thing, awesome.
The original Thing is awesome
Yeah.
too. Yep,
Yeah.
that's one where both were good. Another one that both were good was The Fly from 86.
Oh my gosh,
David
yeah.
Cronenberg.
Yep.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1978, Donald Sutherland.
Yeah.
Insomnia, that was Christopher Nolan.
Oh.
I love the original, but George Romero's Dawn of the Dead that got remade in 04 with
Snyder.
Zack Snyder.
Snyder.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally different.
Scarface 83, original was great, James Cagney, but the 83 version I think tops it. One of my all-time favorite movies, The Rat Pack, Ocean's 11.
Oh, yeah.
Ocean's 11.
I was dreading the remake when it came out. It came out, George Clooney, I absolutely loved it. Loved it.
I liked all of them.
I did too.
You know,
Ocean's 12 was a little iffy, but Ocean's 13 was pretty decent. That was they redeemed themselves.
it's all about like how they pull off the big heist, right?
Yes.
I mean, so and once again, there's characters, there's actors, there's you put enough bodies at it.
right.
So I think they all did well. You're right. Ocean's 11, the original, awesome.
And then what was the one with the female led Ocean's 8, right?
8.
Yeah. That wasn't bad either.
No.
That wasn't too bad.
No.
Then we got 310 to Yuma and True Grit, two westerns
yeah.
that I thought were really well done. A personal favorite of mine, Dread, which was a much better remake, especially in 3D, man. That's the goods there.
Now I still like the original.
Oh, I do
Dread,
too. I
just
do too.
because it had such a comic value to it as well.
Yeah.
You know, when they were going to prison together,
Yeah,
kind of thing. That whole scene was
Even the
just
villain was so over the top, Armando Sante,
way over the top.
that it was funny, but it was
Yeah.
still menacing, you know.
Agreed.
Yeah, I love the original Judge Dredd with Stallone, although he should have kept that helmet on.
Yeah.
Oh, what do we got?
It's Sabrina.
Oh, Sabrina, the remake of Sabrina. Yeah. That's a great remake.
That's underrated.
Way underrated.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, good
was
call
that
on that.
Harrison Ford, right? In the remake. I think Harrison Ford was in the remake of Sabrina. What's the name there? Har. Let me know, Har. Was it Harrison Ford? I think I'm right. But yeah, Sabrina was a great remake. And then my final one, Mummy from '98 with Brendan Fraser.
Oh yeah.
So Brendan Fraser is probably used to be one of my favorite actors, and then bad things happened. Right?
Yes, very bad.
And
Specifically, bad things happened to him.
To him,
to him,
right.
But and you know, doing your own stunts all the way down to what happened to him and what it was, the elevator or whatever the case may be, which is 100% not cool. And then for him to hide from that and have the anxiety he's gone through to pull himself out of that rut, I couldn't find. Listen, Keanu Reeves, Brendan Fraser, two of the best dudes in the world,
most genuine,
100% authentic. So I'm a Mummy person. I love all of them that he's in. The remake with Tom Cruise. What were your thoughts?
Oh, I have that on my list of worst remakes.
Okay, so
I was just about to say I didn't even remember that.
Right,
it's a bad
you
sign.
said the Mummy. I thought 99 Fraser.
Right.
That
So
speaks volumes.
I want to say that if it wasn't trying to compete, you know, and was its own standalone, I don't think it would have been a horrible movie. I think everybody compared it so much that it made it a horrible movie.
I agree.
You know, like I didn't think the storyline was bad. I understood the concept of it. It was way different than everything else, and I think that he did a great job with it.
Right.
But once again, how do you hold that to a candle to like the Fraser series?
There's no way.
You can't.
No
You
way.
can't.
Well,
No.
they did too much world building with that. They tried to make it its own universe. With
Right. It was
one
supposed to
movie.
be the Universal Monster Verse or whatever they were
with
calling
Johnny
it at the
Depp,
time. Do
Russell
you remember that
Crowe.
Variety cover? With they had what Russell Crowe was going to be Dr. Hyde, right?
Yeah,
and
Jekyll and Hyde.
Javier Bardem was going to be I forget what he was going to be. We had Tom Cruise.
Johnny Depp was going to be invisible.
The Invisible Man. That's right. Yeah. Didn't take off, did it? That shared universe. Nope.
No.
Dead after one movie. Or I don't know if they decided that Dracula Untold was supposed to be in it or not, but wasn't.
Well,
a big
that tried
hit
to
either way.
follow two different planks, right? So you got the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen,
which I love.
which is to me was one of my favorites, and they never did another one.
No,
which they should have.
They should. That's what a sequel should.
That's another one they should have made.
Yeah.
Or even a prequel.
That would have been cool too.
Because Sean Connery's not. Is he still alive? I don't
know.
No,
He died recently.
Yeah, he died last year.
Yeah, last year. Yeah.
So like a prequel would have been great, where it would have been a younger version of him and what his story. Once again, the origins to it, and then maybe the sequel would have been the handoff to the next League.
That would have been. Cool maybe that's what they should have done before they even made League, is have the origin stories for each of those characters, because there was a lot to cram in to League.
Well, it is, but I mean. So let's just put it. Let's put the dice on the table, man. So you're not going to beat whatever the Avengers did,
right?
Because that hands down was probably the best cinematic of anything ever made. But if it wasn't for the League, if it wasn't for those other movies to gain concept for the Avengers to do what they did,
they set the stage.
They set the stage.
Absolutely. Yeah. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. That was I'm trying to think of the director's name, because that was his last movie.
Was it?
Stephen Norrington. He did Blade, which was a huge hit.
That's right.
And everyone was like, "Who is this new director? He's the new hotshot young kid coming around." And then he made League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and gone. Career
vanished.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Nothing.
Nobody knows why.
No, I don't know what he's doing. Stephen Norrington. I think that was his name even, but. Yeah, he was on the hot list for quite a while, and now he's nowhere to be found. So how about worst remakes? This is a fun list. We ready?
Yeah.
Rollerball.
Oh my god.
Rollerball. Flatliners from 2017.
I like that movie.
What, the new one? The new Flatliners?
No, the original one.
The original is
original
excellent,
one,
but the remake was garbage.
Was it?
That's another one where if you totally forgot about that. That's just,
that they remade.
yeah, that is a
Yeah.
repressed memory.
Yeah,
This should be a list you
repressed
write down to
memory.
go back and
I
watch.
like that. The Fog from 05.
Mm.
I know a lot of people, there's fans of this one, but Red Dawn, I thought the remake, only because why remake Red Dawn?
Hey, what are you gonna do? What, a different story? It's the same story.
It's the same story, right?
But with the original actors really made it happen.
Right.
So I didn't even bother watching it.
No? Oh, you haven't seen it? Okay, don't. We said Mummy from 2017. Remember The Day the Earth Stood Still from 08?
Yes.
Keanu.
And I love Keanu, but that was, oh man. Oh man. All the Pink Panthers with Steve Martin. Point Break, the remake in 2015.
Mm.
Get Carter. I love Sly, but to remake that Michael Caine revenge thriller was a mistake. The Nightmare on Elm Street from 2010.
Oh God.
That one is one's a good time for the wrong reason.
It is.
I felt so bad because I'm a fan of Jackie Earl Haley, and I thought he did the best he could with what he had, but what he had was not very much, and it blew up. It failed everybody.
And this isn't Jackie Earl Haley's fault, but he's not very tall.
No,
And
he's a little guy,
and you can see that in the movie. When
Right.
he's shorter than his victims. It's like,
And
how
his
are you
boots.
supposed to be scared?
His boots have the
lifters,
Frankenstein lifts on them,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, and it didn't help at all.
No, it's just this little guy, and he's
You're
like,
right.
"Oh, I'm gonna kill you." And it's like, no, that's
Yeah, it's hard to be intimidating when you're 3'2", right?
Right.
Let's see. The Wicker Man with Nicolas Cage.
Hard says,
I would argue the opposite. I would say that's
You
one
say
of the
that's-
best
You say it's one
Because
of the
it's
best,
horrible.
really?
because it's horrible.
Oh, because it's horrible. I
It
get
does-
that.
It does the complete opposite of the original,
Yeah.
where it just goes completely insane.
yes,
See, that's the thing with this
Poorly.
list.
I agree with that.
These are bad remakes, but I can't say that I don't love many of them. You know,
Yeah.
same with the bad sequels.
Horror is saying Footloose.
The remake.
Was there a
yeah.
remake
There
of
was a
Footloose?
remake,
Why
yeah.
would they do that?
Because man, you got to dance. You got to save.
I
That's all you
save
gotta
the
do.
city.
Who was it? Blake
I'm ready to
Shelton did
dance.
the song for that one.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah, that's what you need. Blake
yeah,
Shelton.
right.
Good God.
And finally Godzilla from 1998. Why? And then they tease the sequel at the end, which just pisses me off when I
Mhm.
do watch it, which I do, and I'm afraid to admit that.
So let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, Godzilla.
Oh boy,
So
we got a different opinion. Here?
listen, I'm a sci-fi guy. right?
Yeah,
So I liked it, and I'll tell you why. Because I mean, it's Godzilla. You know, I mean,
But
there's
is it
nothing about
Godzilla?
Godzilla in any animation you would watch. There's nothing about Godzilla in any comic you would ever read that didn't really kind of fit that profile. And then the new Godzilla that came out,
yes,
right?
Yeah,
That wasn't great either, but I still loved it.
I loved it. I love the new one. I love the Godzilla King
What-
of the Monsters. I love the Kong.
I love the Kong verse the
Yeah.
most. I want to say
That was
right off
so
the bat.
much fun.
That was a
Yeah,
fun
it was
movie.
for
Yeah.
me.
I'm kind of sad that was a COVID movie. I didn't get to see it in theater.
In theaters, yeah, isn't that a
That is
shame?
a
The good
movie
movies that came out during
meant
that
for
time.
Dolby,
That's right.
meant for the big
Absolutely.
screen.
That's
That
right.
I
needs
still
the
had
big
fun
screen.
at home. It's just
Yeah.
So, you know, and you own a drive-in. This is some. I bet you there's 1,000 fans out there that if you said it's, you know, Bad Night Thursday,
Bad Night
and we're
Thursday.
doing like $5 a car,
right.
right? And we're gonna play and Nick's favorite, Ouija Shark.
oh, dude.
Wait, what is it?
Oh, there's a movie called Ouija Shark.
Ouija
Yeah.
Shark.
Yeah, it's probably made for about $50.
Less than 50 bucks.
Yeah, you can find it on Amazon.
No way.
Yeah, it's
Wait, let me write this
Yeah,
down.
you-
Ouija Shark.
It's the
Yeah.
worst.
Is that up there with Trump versus the Illuminati?
Oh,
I would have to imagine so without having seen Trump versus the Illuminati.
I'm gonna go with
Can
yes.
I add that to your list? I'm gonna write it down for you. I'll give it to you after the show. Trump versus the Illuminati. Watch it and thank me in 2 weeks.
Oh, boy.
You'll make a killing on the concessions for Bad Thursday
Oh,
movie
are you
night.
kidding me?
You know, people will be there
The
for the
amount of smoke
laughter
going
of it.
around for some of those.
Oh, I'm sure there's got a lot of gummy bears, not from
Right?
your concession stand,
Nope,
probably
nope.
from the local dispensary.
Yeah, they want gummies that I don't sell.
Right.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea to do like a cheese
There's followings.
fest
Yeah,
Thursday.
people follow that. Do you remember USA Up All Night?
Oh yeah,
Right?
Rhonda Shear.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I mean, those movies were horrible.
they were.
But
yeah.
how addictive, right? What was that? Amazon Women in the Avocado Jungle?
of Death.
Yeah, or something like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We couldn't wait to watch the next episode of whatever
Right.
movie it would be coming on that.
You know,
That's before your time.
you could be onto something because I did a 90s throwback weekend
Oh yeah.
and we sold out on a Friday, Saturday, and on a Sunday for Spice World, followed by I forget. Clueless is the second movie.
Oh, dude, that's a.
But Spice, everybody came out for Spice World.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's
I would have thought the other way around.
so would I.
Clueless
So would
have
I.
been the
But the actually, I had the original lineup as Clueless, followed by Spice World. But everyone's
Just demand.
begging and demanding, for Spice World to go first. I'm like, all right. So I put it first, and I'd say half the crowd left after Spice World, believe it or not. Yeah, I know.
really.
Yeah.
Well, I think that if you were to do like Bad Night, Thursday night movie, play, whatever you want to call it, right?
It's not
Come
a
see a
show.
bad movie.
So think about it. You got Son of Spenguli, you got
yeah.
USA Up All Night. There's a huge
They work for a
following that.
reason.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And you make it cheap enough where it's fun for everybody.
True.
You know,
Yeah.
they come on in, and I know I would be there, and I know Nick would be there for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, in a
You
heartbeat.
know,
So what would, if I could play, what's your favorite bad movie? So if I do a bad movie Thursday, what are you going to come see? What's the double feature that get you to stay for 2 movies and eat my gummy bears, not the ones you bring?
So while Drew's talking, I know it.
What is it?
It's the Wicker Man,
The new one, the
With
Nicolas
Nick
Cage Wicker Man.
where he punches a person in a bear costume,
right.
and The Room, which I know
The
it's,
Room.
I know
Oh
it's
my God.
that's an overused bad.
well,
No,
so good
that's
it's
perfect.
bad, but
well,
Because that's interactive now too, with the
Yeah,
spoons and
yeah.
the
you just
yeah.
got to bring like a protective layer for
Right.
the screen so there's no.
so let's
tears.
let's pick on Nicolas Cage a little bit. Okay.
Please.
Dude's a legend.
He's a
He
he's
is,
a
and I
legend.
love him to death. He made my daughter's huge into Five Nights at Freddy's.
All Five Nights at Freddy's.
And
yeah.
he made the movie that's the knockoff version of that, where it's a pizzeria. I'm trying to remember what it was called. But it had
Ghosts
a
of
weasel.
the-
It had a weasel in it. It was
Willie's-
animatronics.
Oh,
Willy's
Willy's
Wonderland.
Wonderland. That's
Willy's Wonderland, and he
Willy's
drank
Wonderland.
Punch 'em Up soda, and was on a pinball machine, and then did this dance, which I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is an awesome movie." So it's the worst movie I think ever made for that year,
yeah.
and I would definitely go watch.
You would
that.
go watch
I would
Willy's
go watch
Wonderland.
that. Yeah.
Well, I think Nick Cage, who's known for overacting, I think he has about 8.
Oh, you could do
in
a
the movie.
week-long marathon of bad Nicolas Cage movies and still make it entertaining.
Well, real quick, and Har, this goes for you too, since you're the only one chiming in on chat. What? Give me one good movie Nicholas made.
oh man,
You
There's
could
a
go
ton.
last year with Pedro Pascal.
yep.
Yeah, you think so?
Unbearable Weight of
The
Massive
Unbearable Weight of
That
Massive-
thing was
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite Scorsese films that nobody talks about, which is Bringing Out the Dead. He was
Yeah.
excellent in that.
Really?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. So why did Nicholas fall into every role for every bad movie? Was he just trying to get money?
He got in a lot of trouble with he had to sell his Superman comics, and he got in a little tax issues.
He was in something that it was maybe I say not too long ago, but it could have been 5-7 years ago. What was the name of the movie where he could change time? Was it Changing Time?
Was that wasn't Next, was it?
Yeah,
was it Next?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good.
That was
I
pretty
thought he
good.
did
Yeah,
get it
yeah.
that too. Yeah.
Or no, I know what you're talking with the plane crash. Was it with the plane crash?
No. It was he starts off as a magician on stage.
That's not okay. Yeah. That's
The
a good
plane
one.
crash one though. What was the name of that?
Knowing.
No, what was it?
Knowing.
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 That's
He
right,
knew the end of the world
Yeah,
was going to
yeah,
come
yeah,
because
yeah.
numbers said so.
That was the Alex Proyas film.
So
yeah.
come on, Nicholas, give us some more goods, man.
Actually, he's on
There's
a
more
kind of a
goods.
role lately. Pig.
Yep.
Pig was a
It
great
was so
movie.
good.
Well, I think maybe he's just selecting better.
He could. Mandy was unbelievable. He's on a little bit of a roll recently, but the
Like
Unbearable Weight of Massive
Ghost
Talent.
Rider?
Ghost Rider.
Again, for different reasons.
yeah.
Oh, I
To
love
think
Ghost
in
Rider.
back-to-back years, he did The Wicker Man and Ghost Rider.
And Ghost Rider. Yep. And I think the same year, didn't he do Bangkok Dangerous too?
Oh my God.
I think he did.
Yeah.
That's a trifecta for the Nick.
So, question for you.
Yeah.
First of all, what did you think of the Spawn movie from what was that, 90?
Oh boy, was that
Wow.
94?
94,
Somewhere
95,
around there,
maybe?
yeah.
You're bringing up memories I didn't know I had.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm
I'm
going to dig
thinking
deep.
All these
Specific-
repressed movie memories
I'm
are
going
coming
to
back.
dig deep. What did you think of the movie?
The movie was awful.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
But
The concept
there's
was
there's
awesome.
enough pieces there that you could see a good movie that could
Agreed.
have been made out of it.
So now let's say we're going to remake the movie. Oh, Har. Yes.
Con Air.
Con Air,
Maybe
awesome.
Con Air, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
that's
was a really
classic.
good movie.
Yep.
Yes. So if that was to be remade, who would you cast in it?
Who did they get originally?
Michael J. White. I
Okay,
Michael
I
J.
thought
White.
so, yeah.
And in real life, that dude's a badass.
He
Dude, he's
is
awesome.
Dude, Black Dynamite.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that. No one knows about Black Dynamite.
I love that.
No, Black
movie.
Dynamite's
The
awesome.
cartoon's pretty good too.
Yeah.
Boy, who would I cast in Spawn? You know who I always thought would be good was Jamie Foxx.
I agree. There was a bit of a Jamie Foxx look
Yeah.
to the character.
He had
himself.
yeah.
I
So I
agree.
would say Jamie Foxx right now.
Yeah, good
Who
answer.
you go with?
Oh man, I don't know. Maybe the same.
It's
I might
Jamie
go
Foxx.
with Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Jamie Foxx has acting chops.
He does.
You know what I mean? I would have said Will Smith too soon.
No.
But
John
you know.
Leguizamo could slap him at the end.
right, Chris Rock. at the
Chris
end.
Rock could come in at the end.
No, I think that for Leguizamo's part, that's a hard say, man, because now I'm going to choose an older actor for that, but I'm going to say Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito. I was thinking Joe Pesci. That would work.
Or Pesci.
Yeah, but Danny DeVito's a good choice.
Yeah. I think that would be a good cast. What do you think, Nick?
For what's the role?
For Spawn.
Spawn,
okay.
Spawn and his
Spawn
nemesis.
and his nemesis, yeah.
I'm a big fan of the Danny DeVito. I just watched Twins, and that's so
Wow.
oh yeah.
Wow.
Getting ready for the Triplets movie coming out, right?
Oh god.
You are my brother.
It's
Sorry,
classic.
folks. That was my
better
Arnold
than
Schwarzenegger.
Junior.
Condolences.
Kindergarten.
I know,
Kindergarten Cop.
I know he's kind of overused right now, but Jonathan Majors can probably do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
No.
Or he could have done anything.
If he stays out of jail.
right.
Yeah. I agree.
It's just that it was a variant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a variant did it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love if that was his defense. Would that be something?
Oh my gosh.
It wasn't me, it was a variant. Loki comes up as a witness.
That's awesome.
That's something. That's
Stop
a
giving
movie.
out all these ideas.
I know. We're losing.
Yeah, Disney's gonna pull the plug on us.
Yeah.
That's all right. If you keep giving awesome content and then all of a sudden start making it, and then it came from you,
Right. All right. So let's get to our $1 million question here.
Let's do it.
This is what I want to hear. What sequel, prequel, remake, whatever, however you want to categorize it, would you make or should be made or you'd like to see made any movie? Me, it's Total Recall. Give me a sequel to Total Recall.
Ooh,
Okay.
yeah, Total Recall is good. Fifth Element.
Oh, please. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a junkie for the Fifth Element.
Did you like his follow-up? I know it wasn't directly related, but it was kind of in the same spirit, which was Valerian.
Valerian,
City of-
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was
Yeah, that was
I
all
thought
right.
that was
Fun.
pretty good.
But if you really go right after the Fifth Element,
the
enough
Fifth
time has gone
Element.
by. We know Bruce isn't back in the game anymore.
Right.
He's out. He's got issues, but I mean that can carry on. That can carry on to the next actor because of the next threat, and nobody remembers what happened.
Right.
Kind of scenario.
All the other main characters are still making film,
Or the prequel of it, of how the Fifth Element became.
Oh, go
Right.
back to ancient Egypt.
Right.
and-
Now, who plays the Fifth Element?
Would it be a younger version of?
Well, I think because I don't know if time mattered in that verse, right? Because she
Because I think she could still do it.
still might be able to do it, but there's going to be a lot of CGI in that,
Yeah.
right? Because she's
yeah,
older now.
yeah.
She's still hot, but she's
Right.
older now, right? But you would have to put somebody in there.
Maybe I'm getting stuck on the hair color, but maybe like an Emma Stone
Maybe.
could do it. That's a great question.
But the Fifth Element's a weapon. It's not necessarily a
Right.
person. So it could have been anybody. They could look different at any time.
right.
I'm sure that could have been. Or maybe it's the prequel, younger version of her,
Mhm.
of why she is the Fifth Element.
how or how she
How she became the Fifth Element, and how
That'd be
the
interesting.
stones got involved, and
I
how
would love this movie.
the black became, right? How
Right.
that the evil, how that started.
Where did it all come?
Right,
there
where did
isn't
it all
much
stem from?
backstory to
No.
that, and that's one of the things I loved about the movie. But I think enough time has passed where they can go back and answer those questions of where did this all begin?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
that'd be cool.
that's what I would like to see, either
But
before or after.
Who would play the young Fifth Element herself?
I'd say you
I don't know
gotta
who-
go unknown.
You got to go with an unknown.
I agree with
Yeah.
Nick.
Because if you go back to 95, I think it's
I
95,
believe, yeah, I think that's right.
no one knew who Mia Jovovich was.
True. Right.
So go back there and be like, all right, well, let's cast an unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because she was just off like Dazed and Confused. I think that's about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, awesome movie. In there.
Yeah, I
too.
love that movie.
Oh,
We did.
I don't remember those days all that much.
We did a double feature of American Graffiti with Dazed and Confused, just to get the cars out. That was fun.
That's awesome.
That was fun.
Could be
So
that.
what movie would you like to see a sequel to, Nick? Or you could remake something and do it right.
So I'll give one for each here.
Okay, let's hear it.
This will never happen because no one went to see the sequel released a couple years ago, but a new Blade Runner with Denis
Yes.
Villeneuve.
Yep.
That new one, loved it.
So
Amazing.
did I.
Agreed.
But I think we're the only ones who saw it.
Probably. Probably.
But it was amazing.
Maybe Har. Har seems with it.
Oh yeah. And then I'll go with a series that just needs to be completely undone and then redone.
Ooh, give me this.
I'm a horror fan.
So am I. All right.
This is a series, he said?
Yes.
The Boy.
Horse. What? I'm sorry.
Brahms, The Boy.
Oh, The Boy. Yeah.
Horrible movies.
Yes.
First one, horrible. They made a sequel, Brahms, The Boy 2. Horrible name.
Mm.
Yep.
Right up there with Quickening. And they're just horrible. The first one, you find out that at the end, spoiler alert for the people that want to see it, I guess, that there's a person living in the walls. And then the second one, they're like, oh, never mind. It's actually a haunted doll that has flesh.
Right.
And it's like, huh?
Yeah.
It's the same
The lead-
writer, same director. And it's like, you just completely just change your mind.
Right.
Horrible, everything. So just for the sake of maybe making a good movie,
redo that.
just completely redo it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can agree with you.
I mean, there's an
Wow.
endless
So-
list.
What's your sequel? What do you want to see a sequel to? Or if you could make a sequel, what would you make?
Oh man. Not a unique choice because they just went with a new one, but a new Scream movie because I love the new Scream
Yeah.
movies. The two newest ones. Amazing. So
Right.
much fun. I know they're making another one, but just keep going.
Just keep going.
The
Is that a ride?
If we can keep the same crew, the same directors, writers,
Right.
Radio Silence, I think it is, keep them involved, it's going to continue to be good.
I agree. Yeah. Scream
There's
is going
so much
strong,
fun.
man.
Dude.
Scream is strong.
And every single person in the cast in 10 years from now, I mean, Jenna Ortega is already blowing up,
Right.
but everyone 10 years from now is going to be massive.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's going to be fiscally responsible to keep
To
making
keep
them.
every one of them, probably not. But
But-
you can always kill some off.
Well, Har says, what does Har say? What she got there?
Oh,
Click
the
on
movie
it.
Oh,
Them.
wow.
Yeah, them would be a great remake.
Yeah,
That's totally
good
due
call.
for the giant ants.
Yep.
Them.
Dude, let's bring back B movies from the 50s.
We should, yeah.
Seriously.
I mean, I know Sci-Fi Channel is doing that, but
Even
again,
if you
with
did
like
it in
$25.
even if you did it in the vein that The Mist tried to do it, because The Mist was really just a glorified 50s, creature feature.
It was.
But and we were talking, you brought up The Mist earlier today. Yeah. I love The Mist, especially that end, man.
Oh my gosh.
Can I throw you guys a curveball?
Yeah, please.
So if I could magically make this movie happen, I would. Do you remember? Are you a Star Wars fan, Nick?
Casual.
Casual?
Yeah.
You're a big
Oh,
Star
yeah,
Wars
I'm in
fan,
it.
right?
I'm in it to win it.
Do you remember Shadows of the Empire?
Yes.
If you could, it was
Oh my God.
the story that took place between Empire and Return of the Jedi.
It's that connective tissue
Make
between.
that the movie. Make that if you
Yeah.
could get them back. Oh man.
Well, so it seems like they're trying
Yeah.
those type of offset movies,
Right.
In the Star Wars verse, because there is so much blank space.
Right.
Like I want to see the Chronicles of Yoda.
Oh,
I want to
totally.
know. Nobody knows where he's from.
Nope.
Nobody knows what he is.
no.
But now with Grogu, there's they're creating this tissue, right? That connectivity a little
Right.
bit, which is awesome. But I'd like to see Yoda as a young kid on his planet where he's from, and
How did it all?
How did that all
Yeah.
begin? Because I want to say the Force is really kind of generating from that
Yep.
species, But that would be really cool.
That'd
That's
be
what I'd be
cool.
in. Sorry,
The cool thing about
I'm
that-
nerding out.
No, the cool thing about that too is the age of Yoda, because you would have to go back 800 years.
Yeah.
So you're in a whole new era of Star Wars where it's a blank slate.
And you like
And let
how
him pave
far
the way.
away is it?
Right.
Right. Like, you got time and distance.
Yep.
So there's a whole different species, different planets with different species the Star Wars verse has never even touched yet.
Right.
Oh,
And the opening crawl, instead of a long time ago in a galaxy far, far
Yeah.
away, a long, long time ago.
there you go. Look at that.
What did Spaceballs do?
Drew
For
Casaccio,
the scroll.
cappuccino,
What
10%.
did Spaceballs do for the scroll? I
Oh.
know.
I forget what they did, but they
They
did,
did
Did they
something.
do something similar to
They
that?
did something.
They did something
Damn.
like a
Yeah.
really
I told you I
long
don't have
time
original thought. Everything's stolen from a movie.
Well, that's all right.
I guess so.
Yeah,
Yeah, what am I
whatever.
gonna do?
It's what everybody else does.
It's what I do. We got some time yet?
We got 5 minutes,
How-
man. Roll it
okay.
out. What do we got?
What should we listen to a review to? We got probably time for one.
Oh,
John
yeah.
Wick 4, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, or A Good Person. What do you want to hear?
Well, The Gentle Giant. What do you think?
Oh, we
It's
got
your
to
review.
John Wick. There's so much to talk
All right.
about.
All right, John
All right.
Wick. Let's hear
John
it.
Wick.
Give us the rundown.
All
Why
right.
should people go see John Wick 4?
All right.
Well, first of all, just so we know for our listeners, is there any spoilers that we should be presenting?
I'm gonna
Oh,
avoid
yeah.
spoilers.
Okay, so we're gonna try to keep it as clean as possible, folks.
I think the furthest spoiler I'm gonna go is maybe locations, and the fact that there are guns in the movie.
Okay,
Wait, what?
So, yeah, I know.
we call those pew pews now.
Yeah, pew
for
pews.
monetization,
Yeah.
right?
So, quick synopsis. After the last movie, where John was shot off a building and somehow survived,
Yes.
the High Table is still going after him. And so this is pretty much that movie, The High Table, hiring Bill Skarsgård to go get him.
Okay.
And so they go to different continentals, which is really cool. Ian McShane, Winston, much bigger role in this movie than the last couple, which
Oh, no.
Wow,
is
really?
never a bad thing. And there's a lot of fighting, and I think it has some of the best fighting, and
The choreography is on point.
it is absolutely
Is it?
insane.
Even better than the sword fight scene at the end of the last
Yeah,
one.
that was pretty
Because
killer.
that was
They
Yes.
outdo it.
like, and he was
I
just like, it was an honor to get killed by you.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
No, without spoiling anything, again, it's a fight scene. I can't really spoil
sure,
anything.
Yeah.
sure. don't.
It's in the trailer a little bit. There's a stairway in France that is about 250 stairs all the way up. And there is a massive fight scene that probably lasts 15 or 20 minutes.
Oh my God.
And it is one of the best things, one of the best fights I've seen on film.
Really?
It is insane. It's so much fun because everyone is so committed to it. There's one part where, well, I won't spoil it, but
Okay.
there's a 15-minute part of it where there's no cutting or anything, and
It's just straight roll.
it's just
Ooh,
it looks
Nice.
so painful. And I know there's padding and everything, but
Yeah.
sure.
some of those stunts just look so painful.
Wow.
But-
So have you seen the Raid? Or
I've
Raid
seen-
Redemption?
Are there three of them or just
There's
the
two.
There's two
The
of them.
Raid,
Yeah, the
yeah,
Raid 2
Redemption.
is
Yeah.
amazing.
The best fight scenes I've ever seen were in those films. And
Super
this-
similar.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, specifically the last two
Oh.
John Wick movies were super similar
Well, that sells.
fight scenes.
I'm sold.
It's 2 hours and 50 minutes. I saw it in Dolby, and I would have guessed 2 hours and 10 minutes
Yeah.
without knowing going
Wow.
in. It absolutely insane. Keanu, I think I saw he says about 350 words in the movie,
Really?
and most of them are just
So he, yeah.
I need a gun, and that's the bulk of his lines.
Yeah.
It's like another speed movie.
Right. Right. Whoa.
I think at this point the John Wick movies know what they are. Chad
Yeah.
Stahelski directing.
How long was it again? It's a long one,
I
right?
think it's 2 hours and 49 minutes.
Almost 3
Wow.
hours. All right.
It is.
Well,
What
it's a
percentage of that would you say is fighting?
It's 2 hours and 49 minutes. I'd probably say 2 hours.
2 hours of fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
awesome. That's what people want to see. Man.
Sold.
That's what
And
it
they're
is.
massive fight scenes. Like the first one, because I rewatched the first three leading up to
Right.
this. It's so fun to see the first one be like more contained, and then like, oh, it's a 2 or 3 minute fight scene. It's really cool. And then you see that
They
elevated,
just blow it up.
and then you see Keanu fighting Boban Marjanovic in the third one with a book, and it's insane. And
right.
then the sword fighting, like you talked about, and then it just gets bigger and better.
So would you say each sequel gets better and better with the John Wick series?
I would say
In your
so.
opinion,
Yeah. I think
I would
they
say
really-
so.
They do a great job with.
I'm gonna
building.
watch from 1 on before I go see 4.
That's what I got to do.
That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm right in that zone, right?
Yeah.
That's just the way to do it.
Yeah.
Are you gonna have 4? You think?
It'll probably be a second feature. I'm sure. Probably maybe mid-May. Yeah.
Mid-May.
Yep.
So, folks, mid-May, the Drive-In Classic Cinemas.
Mark your calendars.
Mark
for-
your calendars. Where's that at? Talk about your theater real
come
quick
to
before we go.
1510 Chapel Hill Road, Lakemore, Illinois, McHenry Outdoor Theater. We will have all the movies of the summer, every single one.
when
That's
you open.
awesome.
We open May 5th. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And Har, I think you're our winner.
Har, you are the winner.
Har. So here, Har, all you have to do, come to the theater opening weekend, say, hey, I'm Har from the show. I'll come and greet you, and I'll come get you the best parking spot I can find, and I'll take good care of you.
That's awesome. And I'm sure we'll see you there, Har, for sure.
Oh, yeah. We'll all be there.
Awesome. Well, I think we're our time's up. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow, man, that goes by real fast, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, do you want to sign off?
Yeah, everyone, thanks for joining. Remember, your life is like a movie. It's going one frame at a time. So make it a movie worth watching, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
We have Scott, Drew, and Nick. Till next time, folks.